वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय। By the causeless mercy of Srila Prabhupada and Shri Radha Shyam Sundar, we are continuing our reading of Sri Brhad Bhagavatamrta by Srila Sanatana Goswami Prabhupada. Now, Sri Nakul and Sri Sahadev, the two younger brothers of Maharaj Yudhishthira, are going to speak to Sri Narad Muni and express their heartfelt feelings about the glorification offered by Sri Narad Muni that the Pandavas are the greatest recipient of Sri Krishna's mercy in the whole world. Shri Nakula Sahadeva Vachutu. Shri Nakula Sahadeva Uchatuhu. Yad Vipad Ganato Dhairyam Vairivarga Vinashanam Ashvamedhadhichasmakam Shri Krishna Samapadayat Yachatena Yashvarajam Punyadapyanyadurlabham Vyatanod Bhagavam Stena Nasya Manyamahe Kripam. Shri Nakul and Shri Sahadev said to Shri Narad Muni, yes, Shri Krishna gave us dhairya, steadfastness in the face of many, many dangers. Vipadgana. Vipadgana means many, many dangers came. Shri Krishna gave us dhairya. He gave us steadfastness. He gave us the strength to face many dangers. Shri Krishna arranged for the doom of all our enemies. Vairi Varga Vinashanam. Vairi Varga means the group of our enemies. Vinashanam. Their Nash means to destroy. And V means Vishesha Rupena. Means completely Vinash. There was complete doom and destruction of all our enemies. And for our success in the Ashwamedh and other sacrifices also Shri Krishna arranged. Ashwamedha Adi. Shri Krishna Samapadayat. Shri Krishna made sure everything happened nicely. Shri Krishna arranged for the success of our Ashwamedh Yajna. Before that, Rajasuya Yajna. Shri Krishna expanded our fame, Yash, our kingdom, Rajyam. First, we only had Indraprasth. Now we have Indraprasth and Hastinapur and the whole world. And our pious credits also, Punya Adi. Vyatanot. Shri Krishna increased our fame, our kingdom, our pious credits, which others could hardly hope to attain. Durlabham, Anya Durlabham. For other people, it is Durlabh. It is very difficult to attain. That type of Yash, that type of Rajya, that type of Punya, Shri Krishna arranged for us. He expanded it. Vyatanot. However, even though Krishna did all these things, he gave us steadfastness, patience, strength in the face of dangers. He arranged for the destruction of our enemies. He arranged for our success in the yajnas that we performed, like Ashwamedh Yajna and Rajasuya Yajna. He expanded our fame, our kingdom, our pious credits. Others cannot even hope to get these things. And Sri Krishna arranged for all these things for us. However, O Bhagavan Narad, O godly Narad Muni, we do not deem this as evidence of Sri Krishna's mercy. Na asya manyamahe kripam. We don't consider this kripa. Such a, if we get fame, we get yash, we get success, our enemies are defeated, we will think Krishna's mercy. Krishna is protecting me. Now here is a paradigm shift, my dear friends, from Sri Brhad Bhagavatamrta. Srila Sanatana Goswami Prabhupada is saying that Sri Nakul and Sri Sahadev, you can, sometimes Nakul Sahadev, we don't see them as very glorious. Actually, they were very glorious. And we can see their glory here. They are saying, Na asya manyamahe kripam. We do not think that this is his mercy. Oh Bhagavan Narad Muni, we don't think this is Shri Krishna's mercy. All this success. Kind anena mahayajñotsavam sampadayan asau स्वीकारे नाग्र पूजाया हर्षयेन कृपा ही सा. Rather, Shri Krishna gave us his real mercy when in the festival of many great sacrifices he had arranged, he delighted us by accepting the Agra Puja. Swikarena, he accepted Agra Puja. That was his mercy. That is when we felt harsha, we felt joy. That was his kripa, certainly. Kripa Hisa. That was his mercy when he accepted Agra Puja in the Rajasuya Yajna. Adhuna vanchitasthena vayam jivama tatkatham taddarshanam api brahman yanno bhut ati durgattam. When he accepted Agra Puja from us in the Rajasuya Yajna in Indraprasth, yes, that day there was some kripa. We consider that to be kripa. When he accepted worship from us, Adhuna. But now he has cheated us by going away. One day he accepted Agra Puja in our entire life, and now he has left us. Adhuna Vanchita. He has cheated us. He has left us. So how can we continue to live? Vayam jivama tatkatham. Vayam means we. How can we live now? He has left us. Oh Brahman, oh Narad Muni, at least we had the sight of him, which is so difficult to obtain. Previously, at least we had the sight. Tad darshanam api Brahman, oh Brahman, Narad Muni, yanno bhut ati durghatam. Very difficult to obtain. Previously, we had his darshan. But now see, are we having his darshan? No. He has cheated us. He has gone away. He has left us. How can you say that we are recipients of mercy? Where is Krishna? Do you see Krishna anywhere in Hastinapur? What is the use of all this palace and success and fame? Commentary by Srila Sanatana Goswami. Like other brothers, Sri Nakul and Sri Sahadev judge Sri Krishna's mercy on them by whether or not he gives them his personal association. And what happens when the devotees get the personal association of Sri Krishna? They serve him, like Agra Puja. But now you are not giving personal association, which means we cannot serve you, which means Vanchitam. Vanchita. We have been deprived, we have been cheated. Krishna's mercy is there when Krishna gives us his association. Krishna Darshana Lalasa. That is how we will judge Krishna's mercy. They could think themselves fortunate only as long as they could be with Sri Krishna and see him. For example, during the Rajasuya sacrifice. For example, when Durvasa Muni visited them in the forest. For example, during the dangers of the 18-day Kurukshetra war. That is why Vipada Saduda Shashvat Tatra Tatra Jagat Guru. That's why let Vipatti come. Shashvat, forever. Because during Vipatti we get to see Krishna. Now Shri Draupadi Devi is not going to be left behind. She also chips in. She also speaks. Shri Parikshit Uvacha Tachrutva Vachanam Tesham Draupadi Shoka Vivhala Samstabhya Yatnad Atmanam Krandantah Sagadgadam Aha. Jai Ho. Shri Draupadi Devi is a very, very special personality. Very great devotee. Shri Parikshit Maharaj continued speaking to his dear mother. Hearing the words of the 5 Pandav husbands, Shri Draupadi Devi was overwhelmed with sorrow. Shoka Vivahala. Draupadi shoka vivala. Why? Tashrutva vachanam tesham. Hearing the painful words of her husbands, how her husbands are feeling deprived of Shri Krishna's association, how her husbands are feeling cheated. Hearing the humility laden words of her husbands, Draupadi shoka vivala. Shri Draupadi Devi became overwhelmed with sorrow. Samstabhya yatanad atmanam. With some effort, endeavor, yatna, she composed herself. Samstabhya. She calmed her down. She became overwhelmed, agitated with sorrow. And then she spoke, crying, krandanti. She spoke, ah, how? Sagadgadam. With a voice that was trembling, voice that was choked up. With great difficulty, Shri Draupadi Devi, manifesting symptoms of ecstasy, she is going to speak Hari Katha now. Hari Bol. These are the emotions we are supposed to feel when we speak about Shri Hari, Shri Krishna, Shri Nandanandan, Yashodanandan, Radha Vallabh, Radha Raman, Krishna. Shri Krishna Vacha. See, her name is Krishna. Krishna Tada Kroshad Ananyanatha. Govinda Damodara Math. Her complexion was exactly like Krishna's complexion. Her hair had that blackish, bluish, lustrous tinge, just like Krishna's hair. Draupadi had a dark complexion like Shri Krishna, and she was always thinking of Krishna. Can you see? Just speaking a few sentences about Shri Krishna, her voice is choking up. Krandanti, she is crying, and she has to do yatna, endeavor, samsthabhya, to just compose herself. This is prem, my dear friends. This is the prem of Krishna, Srimati Draupadi Devi. Shri Krishna Vacha. Shri Krishnena mama prana sakhena bahudatrapa nivaraniya dushtascha maraniya kiletvashaha. Shri Krishna, Shri Draupadi Devi said, so many times my intimate friend, Shri Krishnena mama prana sakhena, bahuda, many times, repeatedly, my intimate dear friend, my Sakha Shri Krishna, saved me from shame. When a devotee has experienced this type of reciprocation from Shri Krishna, how much love there is in the heart. How much love in their heart. Bahuda trapa nivaraniya. Many times he has saved me from being shamed. Many times he has saved me from being humiliated. Many times he has saved me from being thoroughly embarrassed. My Shri Krishna, my Pranasakha. Hari Bol. This is the way to address one's Prananath. And so many times he killed wicked rascals like the Kauravas. Maraniya, he killed them. Dushta, evil persons, they were killed by Krishna. Kauravas, all 100 of them, were killed by Bhim. Shri Krishna did not kill any Kaurava. He did not even take any weapon. But this is the vision of Draupadi. Yomam pashyati sarvatra sarvam chamai pashyati. Tasyaham na pranashyami sachame na pranashyati. She knows Shri Krishna is sarva karana karanam. She knows Shri Krishna is paurusham nrishu. She knows Krishna is balam balvatam chaham. She knows Shri Krishna is the one who always keeps his promise. Name bhakta pranashyati. She knows Shri Krishna is the ability in Bhim. She knows it was Shri Krishna that night in the Natya Gruha of Virat, who empowered Bhimsen to beat to pulp Kichak, even though Kichak was as powerful as Bhim. Their strength was equal. Yet Bhim was victorious that night in a one-on-one fight because Krishna empowered him. When the news reached Hastinapur, and Karna and Duryodhan and Shakuni, they came to know that the commander-in-chief of Maharaj Virat, Kichak, who was also his brother-in-law, was killed by a Gandharva in the middle of the night. And in the morning, his body was unidentifiable. He was recognized by the jewels that he was wearing. It was the perverted form of Kurma Akriti. His limbs had been pushed and shoved. You kicked Draupadi with this leg. Boom, boom, boom. He pushed the legs of Kichak into his body, in his torso. Bhim. Kichak had kicked Draupadi in the Sabha of Maharaj Virat when she refused to submit to his lusty demands. These are the hands with which you grabbed her. He mangled those hands and pushed them into the chest, pushed the legs into the belly, and pushed his head into his chest. Morning, when Uttara and her Sakhis, they opened the door of the Natya Sabha to practice their dance with Brihanala. It was Subhanallah. They could not see where is all this blood. All the walls are smeared with blood, and whose dead body is that? Somebody had to pull the head out from the chest to figure out, "Oh, this is our Senapati who has been missing." Somebody killed him. Then others remembered that Dasi, when she was kicked in the Sabha yesterday, she had warned Kichak not to touch her because she has 5 Gandharva husbands, one of whom is especially powerful. And she had said, if you violate my chastity, my husband will take revenge on you, and you will not see the sunrise tomorrow. These were the words of the Dasi, that new Dasi who has been living here for 1 year. Maybe Gandharva killed. Kichak is dead. The news reached Duryodhan in Hastinapur. Duryodhan says, this is not possible. That too without any weapon. Somebody killed Kichak. He is the most, even I cannot kill him. There are only 2 personalities who can kill him. My Guru Baldev and my enemy Bhim. But Baldev at present is in Dwarka. That means the Pandavas are in Virat. Let's go. This is called Anuman Praman. He inferred that in the Adhyatwas, because they were desperately trying to find the Pandavas for 1 year and they could not find. After 1 year elapsed, they got the news that Kichak is dead. And that's how they did Anuman, the second type of Praman, that oh, the Pandavas must be in Viratnagar. And then that's how they came there. But Draupadi knows that this strength that Bhim had that night to kill Dushta, Dushta Maraniya, this came from Krishna. Because Draupadi had spoken, Kichak, you will not see the sunrise tomorrow. And Bhim killed him that very night. He was Sri Vallabh. He was the cook. Hare Krishna. And how Bhim killed, what a fascinating story it is. Haribol. He told Draupadi, go and invite him. Go and invite him to the Natya Griha where our Arjun practices and teaches dance to the royal girls. At night, there is nobody there. and it's in a little isolated place because the young princesses practice. So Maharaj Virat has constructed that Natyaguru in a little isolated place. At night, there is no security, nobody is there. Invite him there. And Bhim himself was sleeping on the bed, covering himself as if he's Draupadi. And it is described in great detail in Sri Vyasdev's Mahabharat. How Kichak put different perfumes, he wore his best clothes, he oiled his hair, he took a bath and massage, and he went there to enjoy. Little did he know that a greatest fight of his life awaited him. As soon as he touched, oh, Dasi, thinking that it is Draupadi, he got a punch, fell to the ground in the darkness of the Sabha, and then a great fight ensued. But Draupadi Devi knew that it was Shri Krishna who was giving the strength to Bhim. Therefore, she is saying, Dushtascha Maraniya. It is Shri Krishna, my Sakha, who empowered my husbands, especially Bhim, to kill all of them. कर्तव्योऽनुग्रहस्तेन सदेत आसिन्मतिर्ममाधुना पतितास्तात भ्रातृपुत्रादयो किला. I thought Sri Krishna would always show us mercy, but now my father, Drupad Maharaj, my brother, Drishtadumna, and all my 5 sons have fallen in battle. Hare Krishna. Imagine Mat Prana Sakha, Draupadi Devi is calling Krishna. When her father has been murdered, her only brother has been murdered, and she had 5 sons, and all of them have been killed in their teenage years. Just think of it, my dear friends. What a great tragedy. What a tragic life Draupadi had. And still she is saying, Mat Prana Sakha, Shri Krishna. She's saying that I thought Kartavya Anugrahastena, Sadet, Sada, always he will show his mercy. But now, Adhuna, my Tat, my father, Bhratra, my brother, and Putra, my sons, Putra Adaya, they are Patita. They have fallen down in battle. Akhila, all of them. I have nobody left from my side and from my descendants. I don't have a single son, a single child that I can contribute to the Kuru Vansh. I raised 5 sons with my husbands, and all of them have been killed. तत्रापि विदधे शोकं न तद् इच्छानुसारिणि किंत ऐच्छं प्राप्तुमात्मेष्टं किंचित् तत् छलात् फलम्. Nonetheless, I do not lament. Hari Bol. For by nature I accept whatever Shri Krishna may desire. Aha, this is surrender. This is Sharanagati. This is Sharanagati. But I had hoped in Vrindavan, this Siddhanta, I accept whatever he may desire. Tad Ichha Anusarini. It is called Joy Joy Pyaro Kare, Soy Moy Bhave. Whatever Radha and Krishna do, that I also like. I am Sammat. I am one in my desire with Radha Krishna. I will never question them. Why? Why like this? Why like that? Why not like this? Why not like that? No. Because that goes against the principle of Sharanagati. Sharanagati means Goptritve Varan. Goptritve Varan. Accepting Shri Krishna as one's maintainer, as one's best friend, as one's everything. And bhakti is Krishna Anukul. Anukulena Krishnanushilanam Bhaktir Uttama. Bhakti is Krishna Anukul, not Swanukul. Tat Prityartham, for the pleasure of Krishna. Krishna Anukul. Bhakti is always favorable to Krishna. Anukul. Kansa was pratikul, so he's not considered a bhakta. Arjun is anukul. Karishya vachanam tava. So Arjun is anukul. I will do what you want. So Arjun is called as a bhakta by Krishna. Bhaktosi mein sakha cheti. Krishna declared, Arjun is my bhakta. Why? Because Arjun is Krishna anukul. Bhakti is Krishna anukul. Anukulyana Krishna Anushila Rupa Goswami has written. Now, if bhakti is Krishna anukul, and the definition of Sharanagati is bhakti anukula matra karyara svikar. Bhakti pratikul bhava varjanangikar. This is the paribhasha of bhakti, Sharanagati. Bhakti means to be favorable to Krishna. Anukulana Krishna Anusharanam Bhakti Uttama. And Sharanagati means to do what is favorable for bhakti. Bhakti anukula matra karyara svikar. Accepting what is favorable for bhakti. And bhakti means favorable to Krishna. Therefore, a devotee will never oppose Krishna. You understand the sequence? Because if we do Q with Krishna, why this, why that, we are questioning Krishna, which means we are giving resistance to Krishna. We are not snigdha. We are not supporting Krishna. We are offering Krishna resistance. We are not one with Krishna's plan. We want to push forward our plan. That is not Sharanagati. Therefore, a devotee, joy joy pyaro kare, soi mohe bhave. Vraj Bhakti begins with this. This is the Vrindavan Siddhanta. Joy joy pyaro kare, soi mohe bhave. I like whatever Krishna is doing. Because he is my Pritam. And Srimati Radharani is Priyaji. That is the Vrindavan Siddhanta. Whatever Krishna does, that I like. No resistance. Look what Draupadi is saying. Tad ichha anusarini. I faithfully follow whatever Krishna wants. He wants my 5 sons to die. Hare Krishna. He wants me to sit as the queen in the world famous Rajaswa Yajna. Hare Krishna. He wants my father dead. Hare Krishna. He wants my brother dead. Hare Krishna. He wants my husbands to leave the kingdom and go to the Himalayas, renouncing everything. Hare Krishna, I will follow them. That is a pure devotee. Always agreeable, favorable to Krishna's plan. That is bhakti. Otherwise, you are not a bhakta. You are not a devotee. We are not a devotee. If you oppose Krishna. Therefore, Arjun had his own plans, but he changed all his plans by saying, Karishya vachanam tava. I will do as you say. Even though Krishna is saying, Yatechhyasi tatha kuru. Do as you wish. Arjun says, no, no. I wish to do what you want me to do. Joi joi pyaro kare sahi mohe bhave. That is our Braj Bhasha verse. Declaring the first Siddhanta of Vrindavan. Without this, there is no entry in Vrindavan. Vraj Bhakti begins with this. Nonetheless, I don't lament, for by nature, it is my swabhav. Tadichha anusarini. I accept whatever Krishna may desire. But I had hoped that on one pretext or another, he would arrange for my desires to be fulfilled. I had hoped. Aicham. Atma Ishtam. It was my personal desire. Govardhano mein Ishtam Abhishtam. Ishtam means desire. Atma Ishtam is a personal desire. That on some chal, on some pretext, tattat chalat, he will arrange for Atma Ishtam Praptum to be fulfilled. Commentary. Duryodhan, Dushasan and their friends had tormented Draupadi with their unspeakably wicked behavior. The behavior was really unspeakable. Very, very unspeakable. Draupadi knows that Sri Krishna alone saved her. See, this is the thing. To see Krishna's hand in everything. Although Shri Draupadi knows that Lord Shri Krishna alone saved her and her husbands from this abuse. Although her husbands, by their arms, had killed their many enemies, it was Shri Krishna's inconceivable potencies. Who knows the verse about Krishna's arms killing so many asuras through his devotees? Jayati jana nivaso devaki janmavado yaduvar parishat swair dorbhirasmin adharmam. Dorbhirasmin adharmam. With his own hands, he destroyed adharma. But who are the hands of Krishna? Sometimes his own hands, and sometimes nimitta bhava savyasachit. Become my instrument. I have already killed Duryodhan, Kansa, Dronacharya. You just become my instrument. Hari bol. Dorbhirasmin adharmam. Draupadi knows that Sri Krishna alone saved her and her husbands from this abuse. Duryodhan, Dushasana, and their friends like Karna. Although her husbands by their arms had killed their many enemies, it was Shri Krishna's inconceivable potence, Achintya Shakti, that had drawn the doomed warriors into fratricidal combat, and Shri Krishna's will that had sealed their fate. Hare Krishna. When Shri Krishna was chosen by Yudhishthir Maharaj as the Shanti Doot, avoid the war. Just ask for 5 villages and we will happily stay. Draupadi, what? Oh, after all this, you're going to forgive and beg 5 villages? And Shri Krishna, while leaving as a Shanti Dut, he met Draupadi and Draupadi showed her open hair. Will these hair always be open? You're going as Shanti Dut, you can convince anybody. You will go and convince Duryodhan to broker peace. Shri Krishna reminded, the day your hair were open, the day your hair were touched, the day you were dragged on the floors of the palace, the day only the walls responded with echo to your cries for help, that day I had written the death sentence of all the 100 brothers and their cronies. These are the words of Shri Krishna. Don't worry. This peace message pastime is a pastime only. I want to show my Vishwarup in Hastinapur. This fate was sealed, my dear friends, as Srila Sanatana Goswami is saying. Krishna's will that had sealed their fate. Krishna had already signed the death warrant. They were bound to die. Even after Draupadi's father, Drupad Maharaj, and her brother, Drishtadumna, and her 5 sons, headed by Prativindhya, had all perished at Kurukshetra. Srimati Draupadi Devi hoped, against hoped, that Sri Krishna would somehow make her happy again. Tena santvaitavyaham hatabandhu jana swayam Shri Krishnenopavishyatra matparshve yukti patavai. After my family members were killed, Shri Krishna personally sat here at my side and expertly santvana, santvaitavya. He personally consoled me with persuasive arguments. Krishna personally. Mat Parshve, he sat next to me because he is my Priya Sakha, Prana Sakha. And with his Vak Yukti Patavai, with expert logic and Yukti, he Santvaitavya. He consoled me. मेरी सांत्वना की Shri Krishna ने. Upavishya, by sitting. You see, when we have to tell a very bad prognosis or bad news to a patient and their loved ones, that your MRI shows glioblastoma in the brain. some bad news we have to give. We are taught in medical school, we sit and we deliver the bad news. We close the door, we make sure the ambience is okay. There is no TV playing and there's no loud noise and chatter. We close the door, we sit down on the same level as the patient. All these things are taught to us. We look the patient in the eye, we introduce ourselves to the relatives, ask them who they are, what is their relation. We ask the patient, is it okay to discuss in front of your relatives? And then we ask, I have the results of your tests. Is it okay to report the results to you now? And when the patient gives permission, we tell it. But we have to sit. Studies have shown that same message, same words you deliver in a standing posture. You stand and you tell. Your MRI unfortunately shows you have a very advanced brain cancer. One situation. Second situation, you sit on their level and you tell them your MRI unfortunately shows a very aggressive brain cancer. Two situations. The patient's feedback is when the physician stands and delivers bad news, it feels to them that the physician is rushed. He's in a hurry. He doesn't care. And when the physician sits and delivers the news, the patients perceive that the physician really cares. This is 2026 bedside manners curriculum taught at Emory University and all the major universities. 500 years ago, no, 5,000 years ago, in our Vedic Shastra, Shri Krishna is teaching us these bedside manners. Upavishya Yukti Patavai. Swayam, personally. Krishna didn't send some delegate it. Jao, bata do Draupadi ko. Mar gaye sab. No. Personally, he consoled her. Therefore, it is said that if we study Srimad Bhagavatam, there is no need to study anything. Everything is there in Srimad Bhagavatam. All these psychological things and psychological maneuvers and soft skills and hard skills, and everything is there in Srimad Bhagavatam. We just have to scrutinize English. Study. Shri Krishna is teaching us how to console someone who is grieving. You have to do it personally, swayam. You have to sit with them, upavishya. And you have to be very careful what you speak. Yukti patavai. Don't go and say dehinos pinatha dehe when someone has just lost all their children. No. Krishna knew Santvaita. How to do Santvana. How to pacify. Shri Krishna did it. Draupadi is remembering. She's remembering how Krishna was so wonderful. Tani tani tatastasya पातव्यानि मया सदा मधुराणि मनोज्ञानि स्मितवाक्यामृतानि Shri Draupadi is saying, I always drink the immortal nectar of those charming words. Madhurani, manojnani. So pleasing to the mind. And the smiles, smita, vakyamritani. The nectar of his words and his sweet smiles that went with those words. So sweet, so satisfying to the heart, so pleasing. Manodnyani. Charming to the mind. Madhurani. I always drink. I always drink those words. Words are to be drunk. How? With the ears. The Vakya Amrit of Shri Krishna. Prahasitam Priya Prema Vikshanam. The gopis are remembering how Shri Krishna used to look at them with love, how he would smile at them. Prahasitam Priya Prema Vikshanam. Krishna's words are very sweet. Krishna's smile is very sweet. And Draupadi Devi, in her separation from Shri Krishna, she's remembering. With Shri Krishna's sweet, compassionate words, Shri Krishna had filled Draupadi's heart with new hope. Despite the material disaster and loss, Draupadi could be consoled by recalling how Krishna had sat and talked with her in concern, and how attractive his words and smiling face had been. Smita Vakya Amrita. Krishna Smita, his smile is Amrit, and his Vakya, his words are also Amrit. And they are Madhur, they are very sweet. And they are Manodhyani, they are very charming to the mind, very pleasing to the mind. And Draupadi is remembering all this. Just like the gopis also remembered Krishna's sweet words. Rahasitam Priya. Rahasi Samvido. How he, Krishna, would speak with them very confidential things. Radharani, I'm telling you something. Don't tell this to Chandravali. This is only for you. They are remembering all these things. Haribol. So Draupadi also is remembering how Krishna had sat down with her that day when she had lost her 5 sons. How Shri Krishna sat with her on another day when her father Drupad Maharaj was killed. How Shri Krishna sat with her on another day when her brother Drishtadyumna was killed. So in this way, Shri Draupadi is remembering all the kindness that Shri Krishna had shown to her. And this is very important in our devotee relationships also. When devotees pass away from this world and you go and hear the memorial, what devotees speak. I have heard many of them. And in every Vaishnava memorial meeting, all that devotees remember is the sweet, thoughtful, sensitive, kind gestures of the beloved devotee who has departed. One devotee, Ganapati Krishna Prabhu from Atlanta, when His Holiness Srila Bhakti Charu Swami Maharaj had his Golok Vrindavan Gaman around 6 years ago or so, I attended many memorials, several, at least a few memorials. And in one particular offering, Ganapati Krishna Prabhu said something so simple but so heart touching. He was a engineer working in Atlanta. And many years ago, Srila Bhakti Charu Swami Maharaj was supposed to take a connecting flight from Atlanta. And the layover in Atlanta was some 2-3 hours. So naturally, the devotees of Atlanta offered that Maharaj, you are having a layover. One of the devotees will come to the airport and you just come out a little bit and we will deliver you some prasad because you have a long journey. You are coming to Atlanta for a layover and then you are going for another long flight. So we'll give hot prasad in Atlanta. That service we will do in Atlanta. So this aspiring devotee, his name was Ganapati that time, aspiring disciple, he had taken that service to give prasad to his Guru Maharaj at the airport during the connecting flight. And then 1 or 2 days before that day, somebody changed the travel plans of Srila Bhakti Charu Swami Maharaj. And now instead of having the layover in Atlanta for a connecting flight, Srila Bhakti Charu Swami Maharaj was flying directly to his destination. So he was not coming to Atlanta, in other words. Now, this happens all the time. When all these, very advanced, great senior devotees, they travel, their plans change. And years later, Ganapati Prabhu got initiated from Srila Bhakti Charu Swami Maharaj and his name became Ganapati Krishna Prabhu. So he's remembering that when Maharaj's plans changed, his personal servant informed me that never mind, you don't have to cook for Maharaj. Maharaj is not coming to Atlanta. He's taking a direct flight. So I said, okay. I missed the chance, but maybe next time I'll get a chance to serve. And then he said the next day, the day Maharaj was supposed to travel, before he took off from his original place to go to the destination, he said, suddenly my phone rang. I picked up the phone and he said, this is Bhakti Charu Swami. I just want to thank you for offering to cook prasad for me and taking the effort to come in the Atlanta traffic to the Atlanta airport and giving it to me. I am very sorry, my plans changed. This time I will not be able to come to Atlanta, but I pray to Srila Prabhupada that in the future I get your association. Thank you very much. And Ganapati Prabhu. Hare Krishna. He could not believe. Maharaj had no need to call him. There was no need. It was taken care of by this. But Maharaj was so cultured. Maharaj was the cultural minister for ISKCON. He was the executive head of the GBC, which they do by rotation. But he was the cultural minister because Maharaj was so perfectly cultured, dignified in his dealings. Vaishnav Sadachar. He was the epitome of Vaishnav Sadachar. He was so soft. My Guru Maharaj says that he had the soft heart of a Bengali mother. Bengali mothers are supposed to be most loving. And Srila Prabhupada said that, Srila Radhanath Swami Maharaj said that our Bhakti Charu Swami Maharaj has the loving heart of a Bengali mother. He's so motherly loving to all the devotees. Haribol. So we should try. We fail, we make mistakes, we commit Vaishnava Prad, but we should try. The opposite of Vaishnava Prad is this loving dealings with devotees. And as far as possible, we should keep trying that. I want to be kind to the devotees. Sometimes we get agitated, we speak certain things, we behave in certain ways. It's very contaminating. But it's okay, we should take hope and we should promise Krishna. Ablo nashani, apna nashayo. Till now, I have done things that are harmful for my spiritual life. But now Rath Yatra is coming. Haribol. It's a new beginning and Jagannath is regaining health. After Snan Yatra, he fell sick. Not fell sick. He manifests sickness to accept service from his devotees. But he's recovering. And in a few days, this Wednesday, I think, he is in just day after tomorrow. So tomorrow is Gundicha Marjanam, and then day after tomorrow is Sri Jagannath Rath Yatra. So we can pray to Jagannath. That, oh Jagannath, with your big, wide, unblinking eyes, you're always looking for the good in others. Just like Lord Ranganath with his closed eyes doesn't want to see the faults of his devotees. And you, Jagannath, you're the same. Jai Jagannath, say Ranganath. You're the same Nath, our Prananath. Ranganath is blind to the faults of his devotees, and Jagannath is magnifying the good qualities of his devotees. Please help me to be a good devotee. Help me to give pleasure to devotees. Help me to serve the devotees. Help me have a good heart. Protect my heart from ill feelings, agitation, vengefulness, spitefulness, bitefulness. Please protect me. I want to love the devotees. I want to love you. Please make me the instrument of your grace. Make me the instrument of your love. Make me the instrument of your compassion in this world. Make me do what you want me to do. It all comes back to Srila Prabhupada. Jalduta. आनी आचो जदि प्रभु हमारे नाचाते नाचाओ नाचाओ प्रभु नाचाओ से मते काश तेरा पुतलिया था नाचाओ से मते नाचाओ नाचाओ प्रभु नाचाओ से मते. Just make me dance the way you want me to dance. Let my tongue dance the way you want it to dance. Let my tongue speak what you want it to speak. Let me do what you want me to do. Like a Katputli puppet. Haribol. Happy slave of Krishna. Happy puppet of Krishna. The word slavery has a very negative connotation, especially here in the South. Once I was doing some Harikatha Seva and I used the word surrender. That message of Bhagavad Gita is that we have to give up all other activities and just surrender to Krishna. And one person told me, I was giving a didactic session to the pastors, the pastoral service team of Grady Memorial Hospital, one of the biggest hospitals in Atlanta area, downtown. They said we get a lot of Hindu patients and we are hospital chaplains, the chaplaincy program. So as chaplains, we are trained how to take care of the Christian community, the Jewish community, the Muslim community. We are quite aware and we are trained, but we don't know much about Hindu religion. So when a Hindu patient is dying, when a Hindu patient needs prayer, can you please teach us about the basic tenets of Hinduism and the different sensitivities that we should be aware of? So I did 2 sessions for them. And my dear friend Roop Sagar Prabhu, he is a disciple of Shripad Vaisheshika Maharaj. He arranged it because he does that book distribution, Bhagavad Gita distribution to the hospitals because they have a prayer room in hospitals where patients, their relatives, when they are really sad, they can go and pray. So there is usually Holy Bible, Holy Quran there. So he is doing that program where they give Bhagavad Gitas to the hospitals. There is the Mortal Gita and then there is the Hospital Gita program also, conducted by the inspiration of Srila Vaisheshika Maharaj. So his disciple, Roop Sagar Prabhu, His Grace Roop Sagar Prabhu from Austin, Texas, he arranged it. So I was doing the didactic session and I was telling the basic principles of Bhagavad Gita. And in that, I told the 5 basic teachings of Bhagavad Gita, and then I concluded with the duty for everyone to surrender to God. So one of the chaplains, he raised this objection. He said, that's a very strong word, surrender. Especially the South was the place where there was slavery and the whole American Civil War was fought. So these words like surrender, they indicate ideas like slavery. So, but then I said that this is sweet slavery. Krishna's slaves are the happiest slaves. Krishna is the slave of his slaves, I told. Aham bhakta paradhino. Haribol. So anyway, so that just reminded me that how in the material world people don't like these ideas of surrendering. But when we surrender to Krishna, it is something very sweet. Thank you very much, dear devotees. Srila Prabhupada की जय, श्री बृहद भागवतामृत की जय, श्रील सनातन गोस्वामी प्रभुपाद की जय, आप सब की जय, अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Jai Jai Shri Radhe Shyam.
Shyam, Hare Krishna.
Hare
Prabhuji.
Krishna.
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna.
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Prabhu.